Hey, football fans, this is Gary Greene in Las Vegas, longtime sports handicapper and professional sports bettor for the past 35 years and publisher of the Blue Book Football Betting Magazine for almost 30 years. We have our NFL Week number 7 betting nuggets for you, and got some good information on, I think, 4 or 5 games here, and we'll start off with the early game. For those of you on the West Coast like me, you got to get up pretty early to watch the start of the game between the Patriots and the Jaguars. Just so you know, the Jaguars did not have to travel for this one. They stayed behind as they played in London last week as well. So it's just a travel week for the New England Patriots, and it'll be the second start for Drake May, who looked pretty good. I give him a good grade for his first game out last week. Made some nice deep balls. He made some mistakes, but that's going to happen. New England does not have a lot of weapons, so he's got his work cut out for him. The offensive line's not too good either, but stunning to me a little bit that the money is really poured in on the Jacksonville Jaguars side so far for this ball game. This team has been atrocious all year long, and this is the last chance for them to step it up. I don't know if they're going to get an easier game all year, but the offense has just not clicked at all, and Trevor Lawrence has regressed greatly. They're going to be in big trouble if he doesn't get better. He's not in the Deshaun Watson category, but he's not been too far off from it. So that's the game there in London. Next game we have is an interesting game because it's the Tennessee Titans who are off a bye week, and they come in to take on the Buffalo Bills with the number 1 defense in the league. And what's surprising is teams 1-4. They could easily have won all their games but won. And it was just because of the fact they just turned the ball over way too often. The quarterback, Will Levis, has just been atrocious. This game here, though, he will not be starting because he's injured. Rudolph will start for Tennessee, and I think that gives him a better chance to win. I think Rudolph has played pretty well in all the chances he's got. He's a great backup quarterback to have on your team, and it's never the end of the world when he has to go in and play. So they'll come in with the number 1 defense. Tennessee has lost by 7-3, and again, 7 interceptions for Levis. He's been sacked 15 times. The offensive line for the Tennessee Titans has not helped this kid at all. He's a young kid, and they're not really veteran quarterbacks can go to that line of scrimmage, and I watch how they can change the play. They know everything that's going on. Will Levis hasn't changed 2-3 plays probably all year in the tape I've watched, so no loss having him out of the game, but this team has only 1 running play all year, Tennessee, over 20 yards. So they don't break any plays. They have to manufacture long drives, and if your quarterback's not that good in your offensive line, pass win rate almost the worst in the league. So that's not going to help at all when you have to go back and pass the ball. They're just stuffing the run because they know that they're not going to, or they're overloading the pass because they know they're not going to be able to run the ball and hit them on big hits. So that doesn't help the Tennessee offense. But you got to tip your hat to the defense. They've kept them in all these games this year, and they're going to have a tough test to go against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, who has not thrown 1 interception yet this year, which is stunning because we all know, if you follow NFL close enough, he was a turnover machine. Josh Allen, as good as he is, he turned the ball over a lot. Just not happening this year. It's a miracle that any quarterback could go 6 games without an interception due to the fact that you have tip balls. Balls go right into, you can throw a perfect ball right to a receiver and it just goes off his chest and goes into a defensive player's hands. So you got to give him credit for that. You have a situation here for the Tennessee Titans, though. They have 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 stud wide receivers, Hopkins, Ridley, and Boyd. Hopkins has 14 catches, Ridley has only 9, and Boyd only has 13. The team leader is the running back Pollard with 16 catches. So these guys, these 3 top wide receivers have 2 total touchdowns on the year. Hopefully the break got them a little bit more in sync. And again, I think the team is going to be better off going into the game with Rudolph. But for Buffalo, they've only played 2 home games this year, so they played a lot of road games. In their 2 home games, they've scored 34 and 47. Home cooking is pretty good, and not too many teams with a louder crowd than the Buffalo Bills have at home. But on their 3 straight road games that they're coming off of, the offense didn't click at all. 10 points, 20 points, and 23 points. They go out this week, though, and they add Amari Cooper, and that's a guy that they desperately needed. In fact, the Jets, to me, needed help in getting Devontae Adams, but Amari Cooper is going to be a good help to have for Josh Allen, because it's just been a young receiver in Coleman who's ran some wrong patterns a couple of times and dropped a few deep balls. They need to have somebody in there so the pressure's not on that kid, and I think he will start to be better too with Amari Cooper in the fold. So it's the defense that's going to carry the Titans if they're going to win this game. But Josh Allen, again, with no interceptions so far this year, that has been good. But 215 passing yards for Allen, 131, 180, 263, 139, and 232. So he's had 5 games under 233 this year. No passing game all year long with 300 passing yardage. And that's going to have to change if they're going to continue to have big success going down. They, like I said, they haven't turned the ball over. They've fumbled it and lost 2 fumbles in 6 games, no interceptions, and that's why they're hanging in some of these games. But they haven't played good on the road, but they play great at home. So this is a situation here where the Buffalo Bills, when they did play 2 good defenses, though, they've played 2 top 5 defenses in Baltimore and the Jets. Allen did get sacked 5 times, so it's a high spread. It's the highest spread on the board. The Buffalo Bills, almost a double-digit favorite against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Seattle at Atlanta, and Atlanta's a 3-point favorite in this one. Falcons coming in with 3 straight wins, so they're coming in hot. Seattle, 3 straight losses. And the reason for the losses for Seattle is they're decimated on the defensive side of the ball. The secondary is losing everybody, and you just don't replace these guys. There's a lot of teams in this league that are lucky if they have one good cornerback, and right now this Seattle defense is just losing guys left and right. They're -6 on the turnovers so far this year, and that's what's caught them and got them in a little bit of trouble. But Geno Smith has 3 300-yard passing games, so you expect that he can keep them in the game. They have potent wide receivers. I love the receivers for the Seattle Seahawks. I like the running game for the Seahawks. The offensive line's been pretty good. It's just, again, you're using guys almost off a practice squad, and that's a tough thing to do on defense, especially in the secondary in the NFL. As far as the Atlanta Falcons, the good news for the Falcons is, bad news is that their stud running back, who everybody said was going to just light the world on fire, Bijan Robinson, he's only got 100 rushing yard game in the last 20 games or so. But Kyle Pitts, who also had struggled since he's come into the league for the most part, but he's got 2 back-to-back good games. So if they can get him going, Kirk Cousins, again, just learning the receivers, just coming off an injury. So he's starting to progress a little bit these last couple of games. And we will try to see if this offense could start clicking with Pitts catching the ball and starting to score some more points. But the trouble, again, Atlanta's pass rush for this season so far, it's not helped the defense at all. The pass rush has been one of the worst in the league. They only have 5 sacks, so that's why I think that the Seattle Seahawks will probably end up throwing the ball 50 times, even though they have some decent runners. If you can take advantage of somebody's weakness, and the Atlanta Falcons have played some close games so far this year. That last week's game was their first game that they kind of pulled away. Atlanta's got a great kicker. He's going to make his field goals, especially inside, indoors. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game also has the makings of being a higher scoring game. So I think that might be it for our notes. Oh, no, one more. We have the Eagles and the New York Giants. The Giants are 0-3 at home this year. They're a 3-point home underdog. For the Philadelphia Eagles, their running back Saquon Barkley will return to take on the New York Giants' old team for the first time. Neighbors, the wide receiver, the young wide receiver for the Giants, will play after missing a couple weeks with a concussion. So the Giants definitely need him back. He actually led the league after 4 weeks with 35 receptions. He had some key drops, though, that have cost him dearly as well. But I'm very big on offensive line play, and both teams are going to be missing their left tackle, which is the safety guard for the quarterbacks. And this is a situation where now that they're out, you've got to start playing mismatch, moving parts all around, where guys are going to have to play not normal positions on the offensive line. And you got to be coming into these games gelling on the offensive line. And so I think both offensive lines might have a little bit of trouble in this ball game. The Eagles have a lot more star power on offense, two great wide receivers, and again, Barkley catches some nice passes out of the backfield. He's just not a runner, but both offensive lines haven't been that good. I've not really been impressed at all with the play calling that Eagles have had this year. I continue to give them bad grades when I watch the tapes every week, but this is a situation where one good news for the Giants is their defensive pass rush has been phenomenal, and I think they can take advantage of this weakness, maybe even more than the Eagles will be able to do against the Giants. So that's a good news for the Giants pass rush, and they're going to go into this game. They're the third worst scoring team in the NFL, so the only way they're going to win games is if the defense can cause turnovers and keep them in the games, and they have done that. They had a chance to beat Cincinnati on Monday night, and they just couldn't do it. They just could not score points. They went for it over and over and over, and made it even a few times on fourth down to keep the drives going, but it wasn't enough. And right now, the Giants' defense has not allowed over 21 points in the last 5 weeks. So if they can hold the Eagles to 20 or less, they'll have an opportunity to win, but they're going to need the biggest game of the year out of Neighbors, and they're going to need their quarterback, Jones, to not turn the ball over and finally have a really big game. But that's an interesting game, and I think that game is the one. I think that you're going to see some upsets. A lot of lines are real low. I think there's 5 3-point lines and 4 1.5-point lines. I think that these games that have an upset chance are going to be in these obviously low games. So it's not. I don't see the bigger underdogs of 9-10 points, Carolina or Tennessee winning straight up. So you're going to see what they're going to call upsets, but they're not really going to be big upsets. 3-point dogs and less are not really upset wins. So we're going to see some close games. I think this game will go right down to the wire as well. So this year, NFL Nuggets for week number 7. I've been Gary Greene with Gary Wins Videos, and hope everybody has a great weekend. May all your wagers be winning ones. Have a great Sunday, guys.